Next at 5, a former Orlando City Commissioner is now the subject of a federal investigation. How it all ties back to a home she purchased.
Changes could be coming to heavy industrial zoning rules in Volusia County.
The residents right now are in danger, and we need to act on their behalf.
You have to be very, very careful of your boundaries.
What council members are considering in the midst of pushback against a proposed fuel terminal.
And a new panic button at Lake County schools. How this can add extra protection for students as they go back to classrooms next month.
Local, live, late-breaking. WESH 2 News starts now.
A former Orlando City Commissioner is now under investigation by a federal agency. That is according to new court documents.
It all stems from Regina Hill's arrest for alleged fraud and exploitation. WESH 2's Luana Munoz has been reading through those documents. Luana.
That's right. A document released by the state attorney's office shows the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. They're now looking into Regina Hill's alleged actions. It all goes back to how she paid for the home that she bought from her alleged victim. Well, Hill maintains that she is innocent. I did reach out to her attorney today for comment, but we haven't heard back just yet. Michelle?
All right, thank you, Luana. Osceola County Sheriff Marco Lopez is speaking for the first time after accidentally posting a photo of 13-year-old Madeline Soto's body on social media back in March. Now, the sheriff's office was not the lead agency in but he says it was his team that found what they thought could have been her body. He says the major on scene sent him the picture, which he adds is standard protocol. Now, the next day, he says it was accidentally added to a post about seniors on his Instagram page and was quickly taken down. An FDLE investigation found there wasn't enough was posted on purpose, resulting in the state attorney filing a non-criminal citation against the sheriff for violating public records laws. So now the state attorney is requesting an internal investigation be done into whether the sheriff's, quote, inconsistent statements violate the sheriff's office's standards of conduct policy, referring to the statements that he made to FDLE, the Kissimmee police chief, and on a radio show.
It's an unusual request. With no substance behind it. And I think a conversation between myself and the current state attorney could have cleared a lot of this up because it's subject to interpretation. There was never a lie. There is no lie.
The sheriff's office says they are looking into it and are working on a response. The state attorney's office says if the investigation isn't done, they will make their own determination.
We are tracking very few showers here in Central Florida tonight. Here's a live look at our radar.
Our first warning, Chief Meteorologist Tony Manalfi has been watching these few storms as they develop. So, Tony, it appears that the rain has mostly been in our western counties.
That is 100% accurate. You can see outside right now over downtown, Michelle, we are in really good shape. The east breeze has worked in very quickly today. We'll get looks like a west coast east coast collision on the long right here well west of Interstate 75. There's the west coast sea breeze pinned along the coast with that dominant easterly flow, and then the east breeze producing these showers and a couple of storms near Salt Springs over towards Paisley, Eustis. A couple heavier downpours now right along the turnpike here just south of Leesburg over towards Lake Apopka. Four Corners area getting in on a couple of showers. You can see west of the turnpike here we've got a couple of showers. So the main area of storm chances here from Ocala to Wildwood and then off towards the Tampa Bay area. The other big story, of course, is the heat. Feels like temperatures out there right now running anywhere from 102 to about 109. As we take a look at that evening planner, best coverage of storms well west of downtown Orlando. It's going to be very warm evening, clearing out towards the west by about 11 o'clock. We'll take a look at the forecast for tomorrow and why the rain chances will remain on the lower side. See you guys then.
Thank you. Remember, our WESH 2 News weather team is working around the clock to keep you up to date on any changes to our forecast. For the latest details, download the WESH 2 app and turn on the alerts for breaking updates. DeLand police and Volusia County deputies arrested two men they say are behind a burglary spree. Investigators say that Brandon Larry and Darian Lynham would break into unlocked cars, find garage door openers, and steal items inside of garages and homes. Detectives found stolen property from all over Central and South Florida. Deputies are now trying to return those stolen items back to their rightful owners. Changes to heavy industrial zoning rules could happen soon in Volusia County.
It comes while Ormond Beach residents push back against Belvedere Terminals, possibly building a fuel farm right near their homes. WESH 2's tonight, Geber Gettigas spoke with council members about the challenges that they're working through. We have not heard back from Belvedere Terminals for comment.
New details from the FBI director on the Trump assassination attempt. While testifying before the House Judiciary Subcommittee today, the FBI director said the shooter had done an internet search on JFK's assassination before carrying out the shooting on July 13th.
Analysis of a laptop that the investigation tied to the shooter reveals that on July 6th, he did a Google search for, quote, how far away was Oswald from Kennedy? And so that's a search that obviously is significant in terms of his state of mind.
Director Christopher Wray also said the shooter may have had a gun with a collapsible stock, making it easier for him to hide a weapon. He says that would explain why witnesses did not see the shooter with a gun until he was on the roof. Looking ahead to tonight, President Joe Biden is expected to address the American public for the first time since he dropped his re-election bid. He is expected to talk more about what went into his decision and what he plans to do for the rest of his term. You can watch his primetime address tonight at 8 o'clock right here on WESH 2.
Israel's prime minister is in Washington today, and in a fiery speech to Congress, he defended the war in Gaza and said he will continue until, quote, total victory. Benjamin Netanyahu's visit prompted protests outside of the Capitol building. You can see pro-Palestinian groups forming what they call a red line against genocide. Police deployed pepper spray on some of the protesters, and they claim that the crowd got violent and disobeyed orders. We will have more on what Netanyahu told lawmakers at the Capitol coming up at 5:30.
University of Florida's former president is now returning as the interim president now that Ben Sasse has resigned. Former President Ken Fuchs will temporarily lead the school starting August 1st. The Board of Trustees voted him in just yesterday. It still needs approval from the State University System's Board of Governors. He served as U.S. president from 2015 to 2023.
High school athletes in Florida will be allowed to make money through endorsements and other kinds of deals. Today, the State Board of Education ratified a plan to allow athletes to get paid through name, image, and likeness, or NIL deals. The approval did note additional protections for minors must be added.
At the end of the day, the number one priority is protecting the student athletes. This could be a great opportunity for some student athletes, right? But we want to make sure that they do it in a manner that they're protected and not exploited.
One key protection is that, unlike in college sports, high school will not be able to use promises of NIL deals to recruit players. After months of preparation, the NFL season is right around the corner, and today the Buccaneers took one step closer to kickoff, opening up their training camp.
WESH 2 Sports' Kristen Lago brings us more from Tampa and what's shaping up to be a big year for the Bucs. Looks like it was hot out there, too. All right, still had several plots against the Olympics stop before they could be carried out.
Who investigators say was behind it all. Plus,
Lake County schools will have a new layer of protection at the start of this school year. Why it may be a tool you haven't seen before.
And do you know someone with a history of doing good in Central Florida? WESH 2 wants to know about them. Those with a track record of giving back for a WESH 2 Community Champion Spotlight. Email us details about your nominee to communitychampion@wesh.com. They could be featured right here on WESH 2 on Thursdays.
Closed captioning brought to you by National Floors Direct.
new safety tech will be rolled out at Lake County schools this school year to keep students and staff safe. Teachers and staff will be wearing panic alert badges, part of a collaboration that the district says is the first of its kind. WESH 2's Haley Crumble-Holmes shows us how it all works. Orange County Public Schools got high marks for its performance during the 2023 to 24 school year. Today it announced an A grade from the Florida Department of Education. The last time this happened was back in 2019. Grades are based on student performance in several subjects, graduation rates, and tests for career and collegiate advancement. 64% of school districts got an A or B grade. A new record broken for the hottest day in world history. Preliminary data from the Climate Change Service shows we hit a new high on Monday. Earth hit 62.8 degrees Fahrenheit. The records from the service date back to 1940, but other measurements by the U.S. and U.K. governments go back as far as 1880. Okay, that was Monday. Let's talk about our weather here today. Tony, how are we looking? It seems like it's brutally hot out there.
It is hot. And speaking of heat, just real quick to get off topic, is looking at the forecast for Paris. It is going to be incredibly hot over there.
Hot by like our standards?
No, by their standards.
Okay, which is like what? Just for
mid-80s for them.
Okay.
So, which is
that is still hot.
It is
I mean,
hot.
remember the half marathon? It was like
I know.
It wasn't even anywhere near that.
Our athletes should enjoy it though.
Not like you guys are going to have, though, at the Olympic Ozone when you're down at Universal. But they got the fans for you guys. Yeah, I know. Hey, let me take you back outside.
Thanks for the reminder, Tony.
Well, you knew that going in. Come on. A couple cooling showers and storms out there right now, down towards the Four Corners, over towards the attractions. Let's take a look now at the water vapor channel. We've got a little tut low here, and what that has done is brought in some drier air. Remember, flow around low pressure is counterclockwise, so what we're doing, you can see the orange there, that's that drier air that's working towards the coast here, and it's kind of helping us out along the eastern side of the peninsula. It's kind of worked the breeze in a bit more quickly today, suppressing now the showers and storms along the eastern side of the peninsula, but back through the interior. Oh yeah, we've got those showers and storms. Last 20 minutes here, 333 lightning strikes, most of them centered west of I-4 over towards the Ocala National Forest, back towards Astor, a couple developing showers and storms. Leesburg, get ready. It's coming in on you right now if it's not already there in your portion of Leesburg. You can see it's just kind of right over there, building up from the south-southeast over the turnpike, the villages. If it holds together, it's going to be headed your way. There's Claremont, there's Bay Lake. All of this energy going to be building back towards Bushnell, Webster over the next half hour. Over towards the attractions, a couple of showers here. Farther to the south, we've got a little bit of rain west of the I-4 corridor. This was a smoke plume from earlier coming out of Brevard County. So for me, you look at the setup for this evening, the greatest threat for showers and storms is going to be from Lake Sumter on into Marion County. We're not using our own Futurecast model tonight. We've done it manually just because we don't like what we're seeing. So it's the better way to do it in the instance of what we've seen versus what we think is going to happen. So 100 to 102 along the coast right now is what it feels like. Back through the interior, 103 to 105 for most of us, although a little bit cooler where it's been raining, as you saw down towards Claremont and over towards the Four Corners in the low 90s. So most of the energy tonight along the western side of the peninsula. Daybreak temperatures running middle upper 70s pretty much area wide. The setup for Thursday, deep southeasterly flow. Remember, we've got that drier air working on in, so the best activity both Thursday and Friday is going to be north and west on the I-4 corridor. Now, we'll have plenty of heat. Temperatures at the beaches, low 90s through the interior with that southeast wind, 93 to about 97. Feels like temperatures at 11 a.m., triple digits, and then building from there as we move inland. For Leesburg at about 2 o'clock, even at 4 o'clock, 100 to 105 pretty much area wide. Then the breeze works in, as do the showers and storms, and things begin to quiet on down. We take a look at the feels like temperatures through Friday, elevated, coming down as we head into the weekend because of increased showers and storms. And you can see the showers and storms building into Ocala from 3, 4, 5, and 6 o'clock in the evening. Daytona Beach, you're dry as the easterly flow is going to be dominant, pushing in the breeze and quieting things down. The one thing we have to watch, though, with this type of weather pattern is the moderate rip current risk, so swim near those lifeguards. All right, 7-day forecast here for you. Around 95 Thursday and Friday. As the coverage of storms goes up this weekend, temperatures begin to come down. Coming up in the next half hour, we're going to take a look at the tropics, the dust, and if anything's out there long range.
Bird flu still has health officials on high alert, even though the threat to humans remains low. In the past 2 years, only 11 people have tested positive for the bird flu. There have been several outbreaks in chickens and cows that have led to some recent cases in farm workers. The virus spreads from infected birds through their saliva and droppings. Health experts say it is safe to eat properly handled and cooked poultry, although you shouldn't eat or drink raw milk or other products that are made with it.
A new study shows promising results in the fight against HIV and AIDS. Shots given twice a year to about 5,000 women and girls in South Africa and Uganda were 100% effective in preventing new infections. U.S. drug maker Gilead made the shots, which are approved in the U.S., but right now it's only used as a treatment for HIV. The company is waiting for results in a test trial in men before asking permission to use it to prevent infections.
More news is coming up at 5:30, including Brevard County is hoping spending more will help them make more money when it comes to tourism.
Officials hope to see their efforts pay off during one specific travel period next year. Plus,
diplomatic discourse. I'm Christopher Salas on Capitol Hill with the visit from Israel's prime minister and the controversy surrounding it.
And don't let airlines take advantage of you. How to get them to give you a refund and not just a flight credit after a canceled flight.
This hurricane season is expected to be a record breaker. And like with any storm or severe weather, the WESH 2 First Warning Weather Team is here to keep you informed.
Before a storm ever threatens Central Florida, our process begins. Gathering data, updating you with everything you need to know.
It's what 17 years of being most accurate means, and it's our commitment to you.
This is what hurricane coverage looks like on WESH 2 News. Local, live, late breaking. WESH 2 News continues.
Brevard County is increasing its budget to bring more tourism dollars.
WESH 2's Michelle Meredith explains why roughly $13 million is needed after 2 record-breaking years in a row. And now that the TDC has approved the plan, it goes before the Board of County Commissioners in August for final approval. October 1st is the start of the fiscal year. Listen to this. Trains will start rolling into the Sunrail station in DeLand starting August 12th. But curious minds can get a free tour this weekend. Sunrail says it is offering tours this Saturday between 9 a.m. and noon.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is in Washington, D.C. today to give an address to a joint meeting of Congress.
He is drawing both criticism and praise for this visit, with some lawmakers boycotting and thousands of protesters all around the Capitol. Christopher Salas is in Washington with the back and forth. Hundreds of protesters have been arrested in the last 2 days leading up to that speech. Orlando Congressman Maxwell Frost posted on X saying he would not attend Netanyahu's address. He says the prime minister should, quote, be focused on working towards a peaceful end to the conflict, not coming to Congress to rally support for his brutal offensive. Frost says he is not interested in the speech while more than 1 million Palestinians are exposed to famine and hostages remain in danger.
Now to Commitment 2024, the Orange County Republican Party says it's seen more people register to vote with the GOP. The party says more than 9,500 people registered as Republicans within the last year. The party says in Orange County, about 40% of voters are registered Democrats, while about 27% are Republicans. 30% voters have no party affiliation. WESH 2 has been holding a series of debates ahead of the Florida primary elections. One of those is the Florida State Senate District 25 race in Orange County. District 25 covers Osceola County and parts of South Orange County and the area near Disney World. During the debate, the Republican candidates spoke on what makes them stand out against their opponent.
Jose and I are friends, is the bottom line. So there may not be a lot of differences. That's why we're good friends. But there is a difference in the sense that I have an absolute track record, which is just absolutely stellar when it comes to being a conservative.
I believe we have a lot of similarities. My main point is I'm a businessman, I'm a family man. I know what it takes to go to Tallahassee, bring sense to all this nonsense regulation going on.
You can watch the full debate on our website. They are all under the Commitment 2024 tab.
Delta Airlines CEO says the worst of the recent global IT outage has finally passed. In an email to customers this morning, the CEO says delays and cancellations were down 50% Tuesday compared to Monday, and he anticipates cancellations today to be minimal. Thursday is expected to be a normal day with the airline fully recovered. And now we're turning to a new Rawson reports. Airlines have been scrambling to get stranded travelers to their destinations after that global outage. Chief National Consumer Correspondent Jeff Rawson is here to explain what your flight rights are if you've been impacted. A safety alert as you plan your next vacation. Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody says to watch out for rental scams.
Scammers may take advantage of the demand for vacation rentals by posting fake listings for properties that are not available for rent.
Avoid becoming a victim. Only rent from reputable companies. Be skeptical of too good to be true offers. Research an address before making a reservation, and use legitimate rental platforms for all communications and payments.
The backbone of the Space Launch System, or SLS, rolled into the vehicle assembly building today. NASA unloaded the core stage from a barge this morning. It's over 200 feet tall, holds 750,000 pounds of propellant when fully fueled, and weighs roughly 2 million pounds. After entering the VAB, engineers will prepare the core stage to go vertical and stack the other elements on top. Artemis 2 will take 3 Americans and 1 Canadian further around the moon than mankind has ever gone before. The mission will prepare for Artemis 3, which will bring humans to the lunar surface for the first time in over 50 years.
Our team is ready to go, right? So we've had a bunch of new talent come in since Artemis 1. They're all ready to try to make their mark to try to get our nation back to the moon.
Artemis 2 will try to launch in September of 2025. The mission will take up to 10 days. A home furnishing retailer with several locations in Central Florida has filed for bankruptcy. Conn's Home Plus is based in Texas. It filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection yesterday and is closing nearly half of its 170 stores. 18 locations here in Florida will close. They include the stores in Ocala, Altamont Springs, 3 Orlando locations, and spots in Orange City, Kissimmee, Melbourne, and Daytona Beach. French authorities say they have foiled several plots to disrupt the Olympics just days before the opening ceremony. Prosecutors said today a 40-year-old Russian man was arrested Tuesday at his Paris apartment on suspicion of planning to destabilize the games. During a search, investigators found items that raised fears of his intent to organize events targeting the games. In a separate plot, authorities arrested an 18-year-old man in southwest France on suspicion of planning violence against the games as well. No other details of the alleged plots have been revealed.
We are just 2 days away from the opening ceremony, and not just an exciting time for the fans, but also Coco Gauff, who will be a flag bearer alongside LeBron James.
I've seen him in person at a bunch of Miami Heat games when I was a kid.
Still ahead, Gauff talks about what she's most looking forward to with this new honor. And a young woman from Pine Hills gets her shot to work with Team USA. She tells WESH 2 about the opportunity of a lifetime.
And Michelle, right now we continue to keep an eye on some showers and storms west of Orlando over towards the attractions. The Turnpike headed towards Marion, Sumter counties. We're going to break that all down for you straight ahead.
Closed captioning is sponsored by attorney Dan Newlin.
We are less than 2 days away from the opening ceremony of the Paris Summer Olympics, and today we learned tennis star Coco Gauff will be Team USA's female flag bearer. She will join LeBron James, who is the male flag bearer. While speaking on the Today Show this morning, Gauff said she is excited to get to know LeBron.
No, I've never met him. He DM'd me once on Instagram, like with words of encouragement and congratulations, but I've never actually met him. I've seen him in person at a bunch of Miami Heat games when I was a kid, and obviously in some recent games, but I've never actually met him. So this is a cool kind of circumstance to be meeting him, and I guess I'll actually get to know him a little bit.
Well, he's lucky to meet you, Coco.
Seriously.
You're a big-time superstar,
right?
too.
She's not giving herself enough credit.
This is her first Olympic Games at 20 years old. While she was supposed to compete in Tokyo, she had to drop out after testing positive for COVID-19. Now, it's not just the athletes who spent months training for Paris.
A young woman from Pine Hills who has been studying to become an athletic trainer for years has now earned the opportunity of a lifetime. Guys, Shakina has energy like no, I mean, she's so positive and such a lovely girl. So we are rooting for her to live out her dream of becoming an athletic trainer. And stay with us throughout the Olympic Games. Stuart Moore and I will be hosting the WESH 2 Olympic Zone live from Universal Orlando Resort. It all starts this Saturday.
Looking ahead, the Winter Olympics coming back to Salt Lake City. The capital of Utah will host again in 10 years, 2034. It was made official this morning. Last time Salt Lake hosted the Games was in 2002. Keep in mind, the U.S. is next up to host these summer games that'll be in L.A. in just 4 years.
All right, Tony, are we seeing any storms in our area today?
We are, but most of them are west of us.
Okay.
They are in the Four Corners area up towards the Turnpike in Lake County and up towards Marion County.
Will they stay there?
They're going to actually head westward.
Okay, good. Not coming this way. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah, they're going away from us. All right. Outside right now, love the light there coming through those storm clouds. this afternoon over towards the golf course down at the Marriott. You can see the storms here pulling away. A couple of them are pretty heavy into southern portions there of Sumter County. Up to the north, some lighter showers here. These are building over the lake. We're moving towards the Ocala National Forest. You can see Sanford, you're in good shape. Markenwood Road, you're in good shape. So get up towards Sorrento. Paisley, Altoona, north side of Lake Apopka, things start to pick up. The Village is about ready to get a little bit of thunder and lightning as that cell came out of the Leesburg area. Closer to the Turnpike, there's Leesburg, there's the Villages, heading up towards Waresdale in a weakening mode, though. Certainly some good news there. Some heavier downpours now coming across Lake Apopka, Ferndale, Astatoula. Get ready for that. There's Claremont, Bay Lake, over towards Mascot, some heavier downpours. And then here all of a sudden, a brand new batch of showers and thunderstorms from Meadow Woods back towards Disney, all moving up towards the west-northwest. Now, when we look at the velocity product, we look at all these collisions between outflow boundaries, sea breeze here, producing some showers and storms, so we'll continue to monitor that. And then along the Turnpike and south, we do have a few showers that have popped on up. Nice stout breeze today, pushing in the east breeze very swiftly today, forcing the main storms to be well to the west of the I-4 corridor. Evening planner looking like this. 90, 86, and then down to 84 by the 11 o'clock hour. Now, when we take a look at Futurecast here, out the door tomorrow morning, we're in good shape. Look at the east breeze already, early morning on into the afternoon. There's your collision now between Leesburg and Wildwood, and then everything kind of builds up to the north and west. Now, this particular run is hitting at some outflow boundaries, trying to build some storms back towards the I-4 corridor. It's the first time we've seen that, so we'll continue to monitor the trends as we all want to keep an eye on that for the evening commute. Then, as we work our way on into Friday, here we go again. East breeze works in fairly quickly. You can see the collision here through Lake County and then building off towards the south and west. And when you put it all together, two-day rainfall totals with a heavy emphasis now from Ocala to Wildwood, the Villages and Leesburg. You can see 2, 3, even 4-inch rainfall amounts, while back towards the coast in Brevard County, hardly a drop of rain. Let's look at the temperatures there tomorrow. Low 90s and through the interior, 93 to about 96 degrees. The heat risk tomorrow is going to be elevated, especially in our western communities, as the storms will be arriving there later on in the day. Not likely to break any records, but will be within 2 to 3 in many locales. So the pool forecast looks good. Just watch the storms late in our western communities. And then as we take a look at Futurecast here, there's your stationary front. Plenty of tropical moisture in play here. That'll produce those afternoon showers and storms to the tune of about 50 to 60% both Saturday and on into Sunday. To the tropics we head, keeping an eye on one wave here, not likely to develop. One or two of our models is trying to develop that next wave off of the west coast of Africa. Well, way too early to make any real determination on that, but there is some hindrance going on there. That is the Saharan dust layer, and that is forecast to remain in place here over the next couple of days. So if that changes, of course, we'll be the first to let you know. As we take a look now at your updated 7-day forecast, storm coverage going down just a little bit here Thursday and Friday, only to go right back up as we head into the weekend and early next week. That'll knock those temperatures down.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Closets by Design. Thrill makers in Paris. Frederick Richard first learned to flip as a toddler in Stoughton, Massachusetts. He then perfected his gymnastics at the University of Michigan with a national title, before landing a bronze on the world stage in Belgium.
Fred Richard, the American teenager, makes history.
Now he's seeking gold in Paris. The Paris Olympics, brought to you locally on NBC by Nissan, supporting college athletics across the country.
I love this moment, when the audience knows the show's about to begin. A great show tells a great story. It transports you. It makes you feel. This summer, one of our greatest stories will be told in a way we've never seen before, when the opening ceremony of the Paris Olympics is staged here on the Seine. The wait is almost over.
New scary attractions are coming to Halloween Horror Nights. Today, Universal Orlando announced a scare zone called Duality of Fear. Visitors looking for a thrill will have to choose between two paths.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
The visceral horror of Sinister, That sounds delightful. Or the unearthly terror of surreal.
I feel like no matter which way you go, it's no good.
Choose wisely. Another Scare Zone announcement announced today as well. It's called the Demon Queens. The theme park says you can get, that sounds like a band name.
Yeah, it does.
You can get caught in an otherworldly hellscape where 4 merciless queens rule. Halloween Horror Nights will be on select evenings between August 30th and November 30th. Tickets are on sale right now.
I really want to know who's coming up with these ideas, and just hear how they get to them. They're original and they're interesting.
There's something.
New at 5, a few bears at the Central Florida Zoo are cooling off with a splash. Look at this guy. The zoo shared this video of a little pool party that they had. Zoo officials say each bear has their own preferences. One likes to dive right in, while the other one likes to just dip her little paws into the pool and drink it.
You got to feel it out before you jump in.
Everyone's different. WESH News at 6 is straight ahead.
Summer Knowles joins us now. What's coming up in our next half hour?
Hey guys, next at 6, the state attorney says a local sheriff broke the law, and for the first time, we are now hearing directly from Osceola County Sheriff Marco Lopez himself about what happened and how. Plus, WESH 2 is there as the new Pulse Advisory Committee meets for the very first time tonight. Their main goal to get a permanent Pulse Memorial built.